Hello and welcome. I'm Jon Garlick, and I'm here with the Sheriff of Calhoun County, Matthew Wade, and this is Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Hey, Sheriff.
Hey, it's always good to be on the show, John. I tell you what, exciting times. 3 weeks from the day is election.
3 weeks.
3 weeks from the day.
Ooh, what kind of election? This is a primary election.
It's going to be a primary election. A lot of people don't understand what primary election is. When the Democratic Party and the Republican Party hold elections to choose who's going to be their candidate for a certain office. If there's more than one Democratic candidate and more than one Republican candidate, Republicans and Democrats go to the polls, and you do have to pick. People say, I don't want to pick. Well, you have to pick in a primary election. You have to pick to vote the Democrat or the Republican primary because they're trying to narrow down the number of candidates in each field. So in November, the one that they pick in the primary for Democrats will face off against the one they pick for Republicans for the general election. But in Alabama, a lot of times some races are decided in the primary because by default. But November the 24th is the next election. You have until May the 9th. If you haven't registered, go register to vote. It counts. It matters. You can even do it online at alabamavotes.gov, I believe. It's something like that. You can Google it, and you can register to vote online, or you can do it at your county thing. My mother-in-law didn't have an Alabama ID. I took her down last week. They got her an Alabama ID and registered to vote. It took about 10 minutes.
Wow. Well, do your duty, go register to vote. And speaking of doing your duty, really quickly, let's take a look at the count, Sheriff.
5,000 arrests.
Woo.
Yes, that took a long time to get there, but one arrest. We appreciate or two arrests, and we appreciate that. And we've never had a week that we didn't, but 5,000 arrests, I think it's taken about 15 years to get there. So truly hard work. We thank you and appreciate it. We can't do it by ourselves.
And we can't do this show by ourselves either, so stay with us for the first half of the lineup, and we'll be back with a really exciting guest here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up on our lineup this week, Ashley Childers. Miss Childers, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on trafficking in synthetic drugs, possession of a controlled substance, and a probation revocation on theft of property fourth. And this is Eric Stevens. Mr. Stevens, last known to be living in Weaver. He's wanted for a failure to appear on possession of marijuana first and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And take a look at Kasim Smith. Mr. Smith, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for burglary second, possession of a controlled substance, and obstruction of justice by using a false identity. And meet Claude Morris. Morris, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a controlled substance. And this is Crystal Pear. Miss Pear, last known to be living in Oxford. She's wanted for failure to appear for possession with intent to distribute. And have a look at Tarek Dennis. Mr. Dennis, last known to be living in Fort Payne. He is wanted for probation violation on robbery first. This is Matthew White. Mr. White, last known to be living in Southside. He's wanted for probation violation on domestic violence, burglary second. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that half of the lineup that you might know where they are. If you do, give the sheriff a call. You call, he hauls. We're here with Gloria Johnson. Gloria.
Hello.
What are you doing now? You're still at R.M.C, right?
Yeah, I'm R.M.C, and I'm also out in the field, New Beacon. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm excited about it.
You're out
the
in the
most
field.
I am. I be out seeing my people.
Well, you got people?
Yes, I do. I do. You know, I love doing what I do. I do hospice services, and I love that too. So,
oh my goodness.
I'm doing a little bit of everything. Staying busy for one thing.
Staying busy. But you're up there at the 5th floor at
I
R.M.C.
am.
doing social work, helping.
I am. Been there since 2009.
Have you really? I probably know that. I just have forgotten. Well, that's good.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
So we got a big event coming up, right?
We do. Excited about it. Looking forward to it. You know what month it is? It is May, and May is Mental Health Month.
And
Mental Health Month.
you know what? And I'd venture to say most people know somebody that has a mental health issue.
Yes.
And there's just not enough resources for them.
Right. And people are not aware of what's available.
Right.
They're not aware. They're, you know, kind of lost. They don't know when it happens. Usually happens, catch people on guard. They're not expecting it. They kind of brush it to the side, try to kind of ignore it, say it's not really going on, but it is real, very real.
And we have lots of services in the county.
We do. We do. Very
we lack
fortunate.
some services. We
Yes.
lack some beds. We have some shortfalls throughout the country and the state. But you're working in the field right there at R.M.C.
Yes.
on the psych ward. And you're part of a committee of folks.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
Now, with COVID behind us, we are coming out of the shadows.
Yes.
We
We are.
Tell us about what's coming up.
We have an event called Out of the Shadows, and it actually started several years back. And it's a committee of people that designed it and that came up with the thought to bring mental health awareness in the month of mental health. The event is May the 13th. You might see some flyers, brochures around. Pick one up. It is going to be phenomenal. Going to be held at the Oxford Civic Center there. We're going to have dynamic speakers. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have a great time. If you're a professional, you can get CEUs. So we're asking everyone to come on out. Come on out with us, share. We're going to educate, teach, talk, fellowship, have a great time, and bring mental health awareness to Calhoun County.
And it's not just for professionals.
It is
Sheriff.
not.
It's for consumers,
You
too.
said that like I'm not a professional.
No, well, you are a professional.
No. It's just
So
not
you're
my-
going to go because you're a professional. I figured I'd let you know that you could bring other people with you
Yes,
that are
absolutely.
consumers.
Absolutely. I was just kidding.
So we say
Caught
consumers.
that, right?
Yes, it's for consumers. You can go online to Out of the Shadows. It's on Facebook, Twitter. It's on several social media websites. Go online, register, or, you know, if you need to, we're also going to have food available. You know, food's always a good thing for me, especially.
What kind of food are we gonna
So, well, we are going to have lunch boxes.
Okay.
And we're also going to serve some continental breakfast as well. So, and it's included in your registration. It's like you have to pay anything additional. It's included in the registration.
So how much does it cost to go?
It is $60 for professionals, but if you're a
Or you can
consumer,
bring 4 gallons of gas.
and for professional, and if you're a consumer, sometimes you go online. I think there might be a tab there so you can get with Highland Health or another agency to see if some of those type services can be waived for you. So just get online and get on board and contact us. We'll try to make it happen for you because we are excited about this event.
Well, we want people to come. In the
Yes.
past, we've had, gosh, hundreds of people.
Yes. Yes.
And you know, with COVID, we didn't do it for the last 2 years, right?
Right, right.
And so we're kind of out of practice. People are unaware. We're having to make them aware. But it's a good event. It's a fantastic event, and there for the consumers and the professionals. We're going to have lots of good speakers. We'll
Lots
take
of
a
good
break here in a
speakers.
minute, and then we'll talk more about the speakers that are coming because
Yes.
there's some interesting ones. But tell us again where it's going to be and when
It's
and
going
how
to be at the
register.
Oxford Civic Center over here in Oxford, and we are going to have it in the gymnasium. We're going to have everything in that one location, so you don't have to worry about going from transferring from room to room. It's going to be there. We're looking at it on May the 13th, which is really next Friday, not this coming Friday, next Friday. So we're hoping that people will just come on out and be a part of this great event that we're having.
Can they come in at the door and register at the door?
We would like for you to register online because we're serving food. We want to make sure that we have enough available for everybody.
And when does it start?
It starts at 8 o'clock. We're starting because we're serving a continental breakfast with it. So try to show your face, go online, register, and come on out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
Very good. Well, we're going to take a little break here, get to the second half of the lineup, and then we'll be back and we'll talk with Gloria more about the Out of the Shadow Summits here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Trenton Elston. Mr. Elston, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for obstruction of justice, burglary third, and promoting prison contraband. And meet Tanner Williams. Mr. Williams, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for failure to appear on burglary third. And this is Katrina Lewis. Miss Lewis, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted on a probation violation for burglary second. And meet Michael Angel. Mr. Angel, last known to be living in Jacksonville, wanted for failure to appear in domestic violence, strangulation, and suffocation. This is Quintora Chapman. Mr. Chapman, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a failure to appear for burglary, third. And that's it for the lineup this week. If you have any information on these folks, give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 1-833-251-7867. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that half of the lineup, and you might know where they are. And if you do, call the sheriff. You call, he hauls, and he cares.
That's right.
He cares. So we want to get even more than 5,000. But we're here with Gloria Johnson. Gloria, by profession, is a social worker at the psych ward at R.M.C. Helps people find services, takes care of people, is out in the community, and is a key component of the Out of the Shadows Summit Committee. And we're having the Out of the Shadows Summit. When is it?
Yes, Friday. It is not this Friday, next Friday, but May the 13th at 8 o'clock.
8 to 4:30.
Yes.
8 to 4:30.
Food is included.
Food. You get a little continental breakfast.
Yes. Then we have a
really
box
like,
lunch.
what is a continental breakfast?
We'll probably have some donuts, some pastries, some coffee, some juice.
Pastry, coffees, and juice. How very continental.
Yes.
And then for
very.
lunch, we'll have box lunches.
Yes.
Coffee all day, drinks all day,
Yes.
water all day, right?
Yes.
And then
We'll
4:30,
keep you really
it's over.
hydrated. Yes.
You've got to be well hydrated at the Oxford Civic Center. It's important. So, who's speaking? Who we got people coming to talk? Who we
Well,
gonna hear?
I mean, we've got a lot of dynamic speakers. On our first agenda, we have Dr. Timothy King. He's the Vice President of Student Success. He's going to be welcoming us and talking to us and bringing us all together to open it up. And then we've got talk about grants and services and partnerships with the Community Foundation. We've got Fred Smith, and he's one of our committee members. I'm really, really thrilled to have some of our
you know
committee
Fred
members.
Smith, don't you?
I do know Fred
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah. A lot of people don't
realize.
realize.
Together.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the services that are, available through the Community Foundation to help people. And then we're also going to have our very own, and we are one of the few counties that has it. A lot of counties, did have it because he's not in that role anymore. Jon Garlick, he was our first mental health officer in this area, and we were so proud for that. But now he's passed the torch along, I've heard.
We have Carl Moses.
That's
is now
right.
the mental
That's
health
right.
officer.
That's right.
He's
But we're
doing a
going to
good job.
have Jon Garlick speak with Miss Dr. Matthew Wilson. They're going to talk about, and this is a unique topic, old wine in a new cracked bottle. Now, how phenomenal is that? You got to want to know what that's about.
Yeah, you got to want to know what that's
Got to want to know
about.
what
Want to know what
that's
that's about, Sheriff?
Sounds biblical.
There you go. It could be very biblical.
And then we
Put
have
new wine in an old
old cracked bottle.
Yeah. Same old wine in an old.
And then we're having one of our representatives, Saram Salis. He's going to be talking about substance abuse prevention and the coalitions with substance abuse. So, that is very prevalent right now. It is, sometimes communities are overwhelmed with substance abuse. Families some are consumed by it and just stressed out by it because when a family member is dealing with it, sometimes they don't know what's available. They don't know how to react.
Well, in substance abuse, a lot of times is a byproduct of mental illness, and they're not really sure that maybe substance abuse creates mental illness. So it goes hand in hand, and it's very difficult to sort out. But anytime somebody's got a substance problem, getting them off that substance is paramount, and that's a difficult thing to do to even try to help their mental illness.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to bring awareness to that. So anybody, that struggles with it or has family members and you're trying to deal with it, that workshop will definitely be for you. I can't tell you how much information you're going to gain from that. And then next we have Randy Payne. And he is going to talk about involuntary commitment. What can you do? What can family members do if they want to help someone that is in really need and is in a crisis, but they don't know what to do? He's going to bring to them the resources and services and point them in the right direction on what's available on the local level to help bring them in so that they can receive the treatment that they need and get on with their lives and bring the family back together and not go on the destructive path that they have. A lot of people are misinformed about services when it comes to commitment. They have this, theory or theme about one flew over the cuckoo nest, which is not true. It's just simply trying to get treatment for somebody in crisis. Once the treatment is done, we want you to continue. We want you to be able to live your successful life. We want you to be the best you. But we know sometimes we have to, help you along. So
There got to be consequences.
Yes.
There's a legal process, and it's
Yes.
a process, and Randy will explain in great detail how to
great
make that
detail.
happen.
Great detail.
What to
yes.
expect, and what to know, and what you need to be aware of. Yeah.
Yes. And then after that, it'll be myself and a nurse that works on the unit with me, Steve Godwin. Me and him work really good together. And I specialize in the age population. That's what I love to do. And we're going to be talking about the umbrella of dementia. I'm going to be talking from a caregiver point of view because I actually have my mom that's had dementia. So when you have someone that deals with mental illness and then they have to be a caregiver for their parents, and if they have children in the home, it's something called a sandwich generation. You kind of like squeeze between the two. How do you cope? How do you deal? How do you function? How do you keep it moving? That's what me and Steve are going to talk about, the umbrellas of dementia. A lot of people don't know what it encompasses. A lot of don't know how many dementias are under. It's a huge umbrella.
So lots of stuff there. Very quickly, what are the last two speakers?
The
there?
last two is we're going to have Dr. Maureen Newton from Jacksonville talking about inspirational motivation for living, rejuvenizing and revitalizing your best self. And then after that, our committee member, which is our key person, Kathleen Folk, is going to bring it all to a close and let us
And that's it. So
That's
good food,
it.
good times, good information.
Come
May
on out.
13th.
Come on out.
Go online, Out of the Shadows. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back with the Crime Stoppers portion of our show and the crazy criminal here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show where we ask your help on the following cases. First up, on April 28th, two steel blowers were taken off a lawn care truck at 1100 Martin Luther King Drive in Hobson City. And on April 25th, two unknown black males attempted to break into a home on Jesse Woodrow Drive in Piedmont. They were last seen driving away in a white Jeep Cherokee. That's it for the Crime Stoppers this week. If you have any information, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number 1-833-251-7867.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Sheriff, you know what time it is?
It is crazy criminal.
Crazy criminal time. Take us there.
You know what they say,
What do they say?
if you ain't first,
You're lying.
you're last. So Alexis Gomez here is accused of shooting at a motorist that was trying to get his tag number because he was driving erratically.
Okay.
So he shot at the motorist. They called 911, and police saw the vehicle a short time later going the wrong way down a street, and it was ended up being a stolen vehicle.
Oh.
So police began to chase him. He refused to stop. Somehow he crashed the vehicle, got out and ran, and he actually got into somebody's house. And when he got in the house, he stole a Ricky Bobby costume from Talladega Nights, or as like we like to say here, is Dega.
Dega.
Dega. It's not Talladega, it's Dega. So he got a Ricky Bobby costume from Dega and attempted to flee on a bicycle with two flat tires. So to say that he made it very far wasn't, he's not Ricky Bobby because he is not first, he's last. And they arrested him and charged him with attempted assault first and a slew of other crimes, but
Impersonating a Ricky Bobby.
impersonating a Ricky
So
Bobby.
who has a Ricky Bobby costume?
I don't
in
know,
their
it's
house?
pretty awesome though. I started thinking about Halloween's a good ways off, but you know, there's just a million slogans you could say with a Ricky Bobby Dega outfit. So
A Dega out. I wonder, what does that look like? We should have a picture of him in
we
the
should.
Ricky
We didn't have a
Bobby
picture of
costume.
that, but you know, Talladega was just this past week. You know, living so close, but
There you go.
slingshot engaged.
There. Well, at any rate, yes, don't forget to register to vote. 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away.
Got till May the 9th to register to vote. Election's 3 weeks from today, which is Tuesday, May the 4th.
And Out of the Shadow Summit, May 13th. Go online to register for that. And we thank you for tuning in this week for Calhoun County's Most Wanted and hope to see you again next week, but not in the lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.